Busy time for our next guest. Post-Gazette theater critic says Chris Rawson says this fall is bursting with on-stage productions, and Chris Rawson is here with his monthly reviews and previews. Good morning.
You're right, Heather. Too much to talk about, but we'll try.
I know. Last time you were here, you were kind of getting ready for this, and
That's
here
right.
it is.
Here we go.
Here we go. So City Theater has something coming up that's really exciting.
Actually, it's open now.
It's open now. Okay.
It only has another week to run. It's called The Revolutionists, set in 1793, the French Revolution, the really bloody one, and it features 4 women. It's written by a woman, Lauren Gunderson, who is the most produced playwright in America.
Really?
But this is the first time we've seen a play of hers in Pittsburgh. And the 4 women are Charlotte Corday, who assassinated one of the leaders of the revolution, and a woman who's invented from Haiti, who's part of the revolution against the French that was going on by the slaves in Haiti at that time. And then there is a playwright who is an actual playwright of the time named Olympe de Gouges, who's trying to write a play about all this. This whole, and Marie Antoinette, of course, the queen.
Right.
And these 4 women are talking about all kinds of issues about feminism, the French Revolution, etc. They speak as modern characters. It's a very thoughtful play. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of scattered, and then it comes together at the end. It is really quite touching.
Okay, a lot of stories coming together there.
Yes.
Pittsburgh playwright Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Ma
We've
Rainey.
heard just tremendous things about this.
Yes, and it really fits into the Blues Festival that you talked about yesterday. Ma Rainey was the mother of the blues, and the play is about a recording session. They're making a record of her blues, and it's about her, but also the band, the 4 guys, her backup band. It goes back and forth between her story and the band. And the ultimate tragedy, it is a tragedy, lies with the band. It's a very powerful play. August Wilson's first play. For people who are checking off their August Wilson plays, this is a must-see.
Okay, and I've heard it's just a great production of it. Chatterton at the Quantum, and this runs through the end of October.
It's that big. It's bigger than that. It happens on 3 levels. There are 3 stories.
Right.
Chatterton is a real 18th century poet who committed suicide or died, we don't know, at age 17, having written all kinds of stuff. And then there's a story about the 19th century people who turned him retroactively into a kind of an idol of pre-romanticism. And then there's a modern story that kind of parallels that. Carla Booz, the head of Quantum Theater, has adapted this from a book called Chatterton. It happens on all kinds of levels, let's say 3 levels, in Trinity Cathedral downtown. So you go up and down and up and down and around following the play, except there are 3 different tracks. So I've been to see it twice. I'm going a 3rd time. I'm going to have seen all the scenes. If you go for 1 track, you get a lot of play, but there are things that are left out, which is the point, really, of the play, about the uncertainty of life, the mystery of life, the mystery of these interweaving stories. And there are 7 because you get fed a meal at intermission, a really good meal.
Oh, that's good to know.
A different chef each week. So I wish I could go all 7 weeks.
So come hungry to that one. I know you were talking about that they're running it so long because they want you to see it multiple times.
They hope so. Yeah, if you're a subscriber, you get 2 tickets twice, so you see most of it.
So let's talk about Public Theater's production of Pride and Prejudice.
Yes, Pride and Prejudice, coming up, is a adaptation of the play that uses a very small cast, so people play different roles. They play it very quickly. It's sort of irreverent. For those of us who worship Jane Austen, it's irreverent. So I went, when I saw it in New York, saying, show me, but I had a wonderful time because it's very funny, as, of course, the book is very funny, and this adaptation is very funny. Really looking forward to the first play of the new artistic director at the Public Theater, Mariah Kaminsky.
She was wonderful. We had her on the show not too long ago, and that runs September 27th through October 28th. Let's talk about Lobby Hero. We were able to interview the folks over there, and it's Patrick Jordan, and
it's a typical bare bones productions show, kind of gritty, kind of grim, funny, gritty, in their wonderful little black box theater in Braddock.
Okay, and also we should mention Off the Record is coming up.
We should mention Off the Record.
Yes.
Yes, I am up to here because I'm the producer of the show, an annual show that makes fun of Pittsburgh news and newsmakers. And this year we had that much stuff to make fun of. We're only be able to handle about that. But October 4, one night only at the Byham Theater. You go to the Cultural Trust website to buy tickets.
And the Broadway series Anastasia is coming up in October.
That's right, Anastasia. I saw this in New York also. It's another musical by Stephen Flaherty and his partner Lynn Aaron. Stephen is a native of Dormont, grew up here. Wrote Ragtime and a bunch of other wonderful musicals. And this is, of course, a famous story about the Russian princess who may or may not have been killed by the Bolsheviks and her later life. And it has a twist on the ending. I mean, there have been movies and other plays and so on. And this is based on the Disney film with more music.
And Chris, we can't let you go before we talk about the Cultural Trust International Festival of Firsts. So many amazing things.
Big.
Yes. So you gave us 4 of the things that you hope to see and you want people to go see. You have Cirque Eloise Hotel at the Benedum Center. That's September 25th through the 30th. Joan Didion's White Album, you say, is a must-see at August Wilson Center, and that's the beginning of October. And In the Tunnel, which we talked about with the Cultural Trust, that's October 11th through the 13th. Great
Israelis
stuff.
and Palestinians.
Yes. It sounds like a very interesting production. Indian Ink Theater Company's Mrs. Krishnan's Party. It sounds also very
participatory, which the whole festival is to some extent.
Right. Really involved. The audience is involved. October 17th through the 21st. Sounds
Thanks,
like fun.
Heather. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Chris. And Chris Rawson, senior theater critic for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. He's also a regular PTL contributor. Thanks as always.